This is my channel Physics with Swapnil, and now we are continuing part 2. We have left with the diagram of endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome and nucleus. Now we are continuing that part. This is part 2. So today in this part we will start with cytoplasm. In that diagram you have seen I have made cytoplasm here. So now we have to see the detailed function of cytoplasm. Sorry, cell membrane. That part was cell membrane. So we are going to discuss about cell membrane. So this is the cell membrane. Inside the cell membrane, we all know what is this. This matrix is what. This jelly part is what. This jelly part is cytoplasm. This jelly part is cytoplasm, and this is what. This is our nucleus. This is our nucleus. Okay, this is our nucleus. So we are going to study about cell membrane. This is cell membrane. That is our topic, cell membrane. What it do? What is its work? We all know that in our cell there are two things which want to enter our cell. First thing is food, and second thing is pathogen. Pathogen means disease causing bacteria. Okay, so one is food and one is pathogen. So the role of cell membrane is that it only allows those things which are good for the cell, and it does not allow those things which are not good for the cell. Okay, so cell membrane is known as selectively membrane. Selectively membrane means it only allow those are necessary for cell. Okay, it does not allow those who are not necessary for the cell. Let us also see in this detail. If we see the structure of cell membrane, it looks like this. The structure of cell membrane. If we see in the microscope, the structure of cell membrane look like this. This is protein molecule. This is protein, and this is lipid layer. This is lipid layer. So the cell membrane is made up of lipid layer. Lipid we have studied, endoplasmic reticulum produce lipid, and cell membrane is made of lipid, and it is also made of protein. So what it do, if fat want to enter the cell, this is cell membrane. So fat will enter the cell. It will allow the fat to enter, and the fat will come. But if there is any undesirable substance, so if there is an undesirable substance, it will not go inside. So I think you understand the role of cell membrane. It is made up of lipid layer, protein, and it only allows those things which are necessary for the cell, and those which are not necessary for cell, it cannot enter the cell. So this is all about cell membrane. Now next thing we will study about mitochondria. So mitochondria is also double layer. This is outer layer, this is inner layer. Inner layer has got folding. This is mitochondria. So what happens? The mitochondria contain enzyme. It contain enzyme. And this enzyme, what it do? It produces ATP. Enzyme, it produce ATP. Now what is ATP? ATP is source of energy. It is source of energy to cell. It is source of energy to cell. That's why mitochondria is known as powerhouse of cell, because it produces energy. It produces energy. That's why known as powerhouse of cell. Normally what happens that the glucose we get after digestion, cannot be utilized by the cell, but that glucose goes to this enzyme and convert into the ATP, and that is the ATP that is recognized by the cell. Let me give you a simple example. If you have two types of node, one is children bank node, and one is RBI node. So we all know that RBI node, Reserve Bank of India node, it is valuable, and it is not valuable. In the same way, this ATP. So I have told you about there are two types of nodes, children bank node and RBI node. Children bank node have no value and RBI node has value. So the ATP is just like a RBI node. Okay, it has a value that is recognized by the cell. The cell do not know glucose. Like this is a glucose. Okay, and this is the ATP. So from the beginning we have learned that glucose give us energy. So glucose convert into the ATP with the help of enzyme, and that ATP give us energy. That is what we have to understand now in this class, in 9th class. We all know glucose give energy, but glucose with the help of enzyme convert into the ATP, and this ATP give us the energy to the cell. Okay, so this is about mitochondria. Now next thing we will study about vacuole. Next thing is vacuole. So the vacuole is present in the plant cell. So this is centrally located and single. If this is a plant cell, this is cell wall. We know this is a cell wall. This is a cell wall. This is cytoplasm, and this is vacuole. This is vacuole in plant. So vacuole in a plant is a big one, centrally located one. And what it contains? The vacuole contains sap. This vacuole contains sap. Sap means what? Sap means water plus minerals. Sap means water plus minerals. So this vacuole, it contains water plus minerals. And what is the role of vacuole? It gives its function is to provide turgor pressure. What happened that if we have a plant which is straight, and now we have another plant which is bent like this. Okay, so the difference between them is that in this vacuole is filled with sap, and this vacuole is not filled with sap. This is erect. This plant is erect, and this is wrinkled. So this is the role of the vacuole, that it provides turgor pressure. It provides pressure to the cell so that proper shape of the plant is maintained. And it is if there is no water. Think of a case of dehydration. If there is a dehydration or drought condition, there will be no water, there will be no turgor pressure. The water will not apply the pressure to the vacuole, and the plant will go in wrinkle shape. Okay, so that is the function of vacuole. Let's study another organelle that is known as plastid. Now next thing is plastid. Let us now understand what is plastid. Basically, there are two types. One is chromoplast and second is leucoplast. What is the role of chromoplast or the role of leucoplast? Very simple. Leucoplast store food. Example, it store carbohydrate, protein, we know now we have wheat. So the wheat cell, if we talk about the wheat cell, it contain carbohydrate. So this cell will contain leucoplast. Leucoplast role is to store food, while chromoplast, its role is to give color. So the chromoplast role is to give color. We see various color, the tomato being red, the leaf being green. So to give color, the chromoplast role is to give color. So one structure where this color is present, it is chloroplast. So let us study about chloroplast. We all know chloroplast is an area we will find chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll help in the process of photosynthesis. Let's see how a chloroplast look. So it is also a double membrane. We have seen nucleus as a double membrane, endoplasmic reticulum as a double membrane. So it is also a double membrane, and we have some stack-like structure. See, these are some stack-like structure, and we have more stack-like structure. These stack, the single stack is known as thylakoid, and the whole group of thylakoid is known as grana. And the matrix of the chloroplast is known as stroma. This matrix is known as stroma, and the chloroplast has its DNA also. But till now I have not drawn chlorophyll. So let us see where the chlorophyll is present. Let us take one thylakoid. If I take one thylakoid, a single thylakoid is also a double membrane. In between the thylakoid there is nothing, and that cavity is known as lumen. This I am drawing the diagram of thylakoid. So between the membrane are the chlorophyll. These green dots, here you are seeing with black color, these green dots are only chlorophyll. Now you are clear where there are chlorophyll. Chlorophyll are present in chloroplast, and chloroplast have this type of structure. We have thylakoid, stack of thylakoid known as grana, we have stroma, we have its DNA, and if you take a thylakoid, then we see that it's a double membrane, and between the membrane we can see the dot-like structure, green structure is known as chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll helps in photosynthesis. Okay, now we are moving to the next and the final organelle, that is our centrosome. This is our final organelle. So let's see how the structure of centrosome look. We have two fiber-like pipes. It is centrosome. First of all, centrosome is only present in animal cell. And it is not present in plant cell. How the centrosome look? Let's see. Centrosome have centriole that are perpendicular to each other. These both are centriole, which you can see are perpendicular to each other. What the function of centriole? The function of centriole is we have a chromosome, and the chromosome want to divide. So how a chromosome can divide? How does a chromosome divide? So what happened? That centriole form spindle. This is spindle. This spindle is formed by this centriole, and this spindle separate the chromosome. This is a chromosome, and with the help of centriole the chromosome gets separated, and we have separate chromosomes. Okay, so centriole help in division of chromosome. That's all. Thank you so much, and we will continue this lecture in lecture 3rd. And if you like my channel,